Welcome to OLevels Economics Unit 9, Price Determination. Let's start by introducing the topic. Imagine a busy fish market at the end of the day. Some traders might be left with unsold fish, which they are forced to throw away because the product is perishable. To prevent this from happening again, they decide to reduce their prices the next day to attract more buyers. But on some days, the opposite happens. The traders sell out of fish very quickly, realizing they could have charged a higher price. So the next day they raise their prices. These daily price changes show a real life example of how prices adjust based on market conditions. Producers and sellers often find it challenging to know the exact price they should charge, and so through constant adjustments, the market eventually settles at a price where buyers and sellers are both satisfied. Now, let's understand how prices are actually determined. Consumers always prefer to pay as little as possible, while producers aim to earn as much as they can. This difference in objectives creates the need for a balance, and that balance is achieved through the interaction of demand and supply. In some markets, prices are decided through direct negotiation, like when customers haggle with a street vendor to lower the price, and the seller tries to keep it high enough to make a profit. In other markets, especially where goods are sold on a large scale, prices are set indirectly. Firms estimate what they believe to be the right price, the equilibrium price, which is the price where the quantity that consumers are willing and able to buy exactly equals the quantity producers are willing and able to sell. If producers notice that they can't sell all of their goods at the chosen price, this means the price is too high. Supply is greater than demand. In this case, they will reduce the price to encourage more customers to buy. However, if demand turns out to be higher than expected and goods sell out quickly, firms realize that the price is too low and will increase it. These natural adjustments continue until the market reaches a point where demand and supply are perfectly balanced. That is the equilibrium price. Now let's explore the concept of market equilibrium in more detail. The equilibrium price, also known as the market clearing price, is the price at which the quantity demanded equals the quantity supplied. At this price, there are no shortages and no surpluses. The market clears because everything produced is sold. We can find this equilibrium point using either a demand and supply schedule or a graph. For example, let's take a look at the market for train tickets between station X and station Y. When the price of a ticket is $50, only 2,200 tickets are demanded, while 6,000 are supplied, meaning there's an excess supply. As the price decreases to $45, demand rises to 2,500 and supply falls to 5,000. When the price reaches $35, demand and supply are equal at 3,800 tickets. This means the equilibrium price is $35 and the equilibrium quantity is 3,800 tickets. On a demand and supply diagram, this equilibrium is shown where the two curves intersect, the demand curve sloping downwards and the supply curve sloping upwards. This intersection point represents stability, where market forces are balanced. Prices will remain at this level until something changes, like a shift in consumer preferences, production costs, or external factors that affect demand or supply. But markets are not always in equilibrium. Sometimes prices are too high or too low, causing disequilibrium, a situation where the quantity demanded and supplied are not equal. Let's explore both cases in detail. First, if the price is set above the equilibrium level, there will be a surplus or excess supply. This happens because producers are supplying more than consumers are willing to buy at that price. For example, if a firm sets the price at $6, it might produce 10,000 units, but consumers only buy 4,000. This leaves 6,000 units unsold. To clear this surplus, the firm will gradually reduce its prices. As the price falls, consumers find the product more affordable, so the quantity demanded increases, while producers find it less profitable to produce as much, so the quantity supplied decreases. This process continues until the surplus is eliminated and equilibrium is restored. On the other hand, if the price is set below the equilibrium level, there will be a shortage or excess demand. At this low price, more consumers want to buy the product, but producers are unwilling or unable to supply enough. For example, if the equilibrium price of a product is $5, but firms sell it for $3, demand might rise sharply while supply falls. Some consumers who really want the product will be willing to pay more to secure it. Seeing this, suppliers will raise their prices, increasing their willingness to produce more. As price rises, demand gradually falls until the two meet again at equilibrium. This process, where prices rise to remove shortages and fall to remove surpluses, is known as the action of market forces. Market forces are the automatic mechanism that moves prices toward equilibrium whenever the market is out of balance. They ensure that resources are allocated efficiently, that goods are produced in the right quantities at the right price for the people who are willing and able to pay for them. In summary, price is set through the interaction of demand and supply. At the equilibrium price, demand equals supply and the market is balanced. If the price is too low, excess demand causes shortages and prices rise. If the price is too high, excess supply causes surpluses and prices fall. In both cases, market forces naturally move prices back to equilibrium. Thanks for watching.